Well, good evening, everyone.
Hi,
And
Matt.
my name is Bette McCarthy, and I wish to call this meeting to order of the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable Government Access Channel. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, their presence must be known. So, all right, I guess nobody else is recording the meeting. All right, to all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable, excuse me, Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973 as amended, you're hereby notified that a meeting will be held on the applications listed for the agenda for March 13th, 2024. We'd like to remind all applicants and audience members that we are elected volunteer committee following the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. Any applicant or interested party who's aggrieved by a decision of this committee, they have a right to appeal the decision with the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District. We ask that during this evening's proceedings, all cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside of this remote meeting. When an applicant is called, we ask that the applicant and all interested parties identify themselves. And lastly, as a best practice for meetings held remotely, where we may not be able to visually identify who's speaking, we ask that all committee members and participants identify themselves before making any motions or comments. Online audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing can use the raised hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members wishing to participate the hearing should press *9 on their phones to notify the chair. All applicants will be muted, and you must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. And the first order of business is to take roll call attendance. So it looks like we have a full house tonight, but I'll go through the roll call. George Jessup.
Present.
Leslie Wallace.
Present.
Ryan Caholen.
Okay, sorry, I was stuck on mute. Present.
Okay. Wendy Shaw.
Present.
And Bette McCarthy. All right. So we're going to call our first application, and that is for Christina McLean, 102 Cobblestone Road, Barnstable, map 316, parcel 061, built in 1984, to construct a 24 by 27 detached garage. So we now need to open a public hearing for this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right, and a roll call vote. George Jessup.
Aye.
Leslie Wallace.
Aye.
Ryan Caholen.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck.
Aye.
And Bette McCarthy. Aye. So apparently the applicant has asked to postpone this application. So Wendy, would you like to make a motion regarding that?
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to continue the certificate of appropriateness application for Christina McLean, 102 Cobblestone Road, Barnstable, map 316, parcel 061, built 1984, to the meeting to be held on March 27th at 6:30 and the meeting will be held remotely via Zoom.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
All right, and a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now we need to close the public hearing. Is that correct? No, we don't need to do that. Okay. All right. Very good. So our next application is for Jamie and Eric Duquesne of 113 Boulder Road, Barnstable, map 315, parcel 030, built in 1988, to construct a 24 by 24 detached garage on a concrete frost wall foundation. And now we need to open a public hearing for this application.
Yep, this
We
is
already
Wendy.
had a,
This
we
is
already
Wendy.
had a public hearing open.
That was, I think that was for the last item, right?
It was, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but it's still a public hearing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep, that's
Yep,
okay.
that's okay.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now we need to have a motion to continue this application for
Yep.
the next meeting.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to continue the certificate of appropriateness application for Eric and Jamie Dask, 113 Boulder Road, Barnstable, map 315, parcel 030, built 1988, to the meeting to be held on March 27th at 6:30. It will be held remotely via Zoom.
Brian Caholen, I'll
Right.
second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. All right. Our next application is for Edward Berube of 94 Millway, Barnstable, map 300, parcel 039-001, built in 1850, to construct a new 14 by 18 screen porch with a mahogany screen frames with charcoal mesh, roofing and siding to match those of the house. Now we need to open a public hearing for this application.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now with the applicant, please discuss their application.
I think you're muted. Yeah.
Okay, hi. My name is Bob Urel, RUL Design, and I'm the one that's designing the porch for Mr. Berube. But anyways, it's adding a 18 by 14 screen porch on the left side of the house. It shows it on the GIS there, basically kind of the location of where the screen porch is going to be. We scroll down to, that's the front, the back. These are existing conditions right now. Come down here to this picture here. So next picture, the picture that's highlighted there, that's the location where the screen porch is going to be. It's going to come out 14 feet from the building, 18 feet wide. If you go down a little bit lower, you can see the elevations that I put together. So that's the view from the front. You know, well, from the front of the house. The grade drops off. So in the view basically, and there's a tree where the stone wall is. That's the left side elevation. Basically, it's just mahogany. Everything's gonna be white, the mahogany, but they're gonna be painted white, wood frame, all the trim to match, painted white. The shingles are all white cedar. There will be a skirt, a decorative skirt on the bottom, kind of make it look nice with the grade, because it's a kind of a funky grade drop off there on that side.
Yep.
Then the next elevation is the rear elevation. So all the screen sizes are pretty close to the same width, 3 foot 5 inches wide. Just going to come on. It's just basically kind of very clean look, and I'm trying to keep it looking very old. Originally, I had a set of stairs in the back, but we took the stairs off because it just didn't look good when you came around the corner. Plus, they don't need egress from that screen porch. It's off the kitchen, so it's just for people who are in the kitchen area can go on the screen porch. So that's pretty much it. Roofing materials match the existing roof, which is a black. It's like a dual black color. Trim will be all painted white to match existing on the house.
Are you stepping down onto that porch?
Yes. Yep.
And why are you stepping down onto it? To keep it closer to the grade, or simply because you want to get the roof?
I need the height, the vertical height. So basically, when you come through the door, there'll be a little landing, and you come down one step, about 14 inches, roughly, plus or minus, to do that. But also, I'm trying to keep the line, because I'm trying to give it that broken back, that line off the existing gable, to make it have that kind of like that Barnstable looking type of broken shed look there. And it tucks in better with the grade too.
You can go higher with that roof overlap, and
I did that, but the owner doesn't want to. I had that in my original. I don't know if the original is still on this. Erica is the original drawing.
yeah, I see that. You've got a couple of skylights up there, but
No, skylights are original.
yeah, I say
makes
that.
sense, right.
I see that.
But yeah, you can see. So the original one there, if you pull up on that one there, you can see how it goes up on the roof, how it folds up on the roof. But what I'm trying to do is make up a line so it's a cleaner look than having the overlap. So,
well, that's gives you less of a step down to that porch, which
it's kind of what happens is from the main existing house to the addition, the original Cape style house that was the original house. There's a step that goes into the addition. Then there's like 5 steps or 6 steps that go down to the lower area where the glass doors are. That was done in the 80s, I think.
Okay.
So he's fine with, he's already got like a stepped effect in the house going from one level to the next level to the next level. And it's all about the line. I'm trying to get the line kind of as clean as possible. And so I started with that. We looked at the stairs, and the stairs kind of, when you come around the corner on that street on Mill Way, the stairs would kind of be like, I don't know, it'd be kind of not as clean. It looks much cleaner with just the porch without the stairs. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was concerned about too much of a step down onto the screen porch.
No, it'll have a landing and a rail, because it's big enough inside there. It's gonna have like a 6 by 6 landing and a little mahogany rail, and be able to step down. If not, we have to play with that a little bit because of the way we're gonna be using exposed fir rafters in size with the tongue roof deck boards, basically, to give it like an exposed look. So it looks like the inside of the kitchen area. So it's gonna look kind of that old look.
Okay.
On the inside. So.
All right, thank you, George. Leslie, do you have any comments regarding this?
I just want to ask, you're going to have a mahogany floor?
The decking is actually inside is going to be composite probably, because it's again, it's a screen porch. There's not going to be no glass panels or anything. This is all screen. So the water's going to come in during a rainstorm, or if it's, do that. So we're using AZAC composite decking, but you're not going to be able to see that from the outside.
No, but did you say you're painting it white? It's going to be white, or?
No, I think you mean about the storm panel. You mean the screen inserts, the frames.
Oh, okay. All right.
The frames around the screen mesh are mahogany, and they're going to be painted white. That way it stands up.
Okay, and that'll match the house.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Ryan, what are your comments?
Could you back to the front elevation, please?
Mhm.
The skirting. I know you mentioned a lot of painted white to match.
It's
Is
just
the skirting-
it's gonna be, that's just gonna be AZAC 1x4.
all right, painted white.
Um, preferably, his white color is very close to the AZAC color on the house. Preferably not to paint it, you know what I mean? To that way there, that way there, you know, it's not gonna be an issue where it's getting dirty all the time from mulch and plantings
And
around
is
it.
it- is
There's
it
gonna
gonna
be
be-
plantings around that anyways. You're not gonna
It'll
see a
get
lot of it.
mildewy looking though.
We require you paint it.
Oh, that's fine. You can paint it. All the trim's being painted,
Yeah.
so.
And there's a
The,
special paint, there is a
It's
special
a
paint.
Sherman Williams, I know what it is, Sherman Williams paint. Yeah,
Okay, good.
duration, yeah.
Very
The,
good.
the skirt, is it what's the word? Is it continuous? Is it slats? What is it?
No, it's going to be 1x4 with like an 1/8 inch space. Then there'll be like a
Okay.
screen mesh placed behind it, so bugs can't get through up through the deck.
All right, so the
So
gap
it
will be
allows
tight
the air to
enough
move.
where,
It's
where
more
I'm not going to see
traditional.
mesh from the street, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The gaps will be tight enough where I can't see through.
1/8 inch usually, that's pretty much there,
Yeah.
versus if you go solid, it's not gonna have any airflow. And being that it's not, you know, insulated or anything like that, it's allowed to let the air move around in there, because it will be like a pressure treated frame behind that. So it
Yeah,
allows the
I'm not
air-
worried
so-
about 1/8 of an inch. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we weren't talking like, a series of 2 inch or 3 inch gaps.
No. Like an 1/8 to 3/16. It's like the standard skirt you see on an older house, you know, on Main Street or something, you know, underneath a set of stairs.
And the retaining wall that is there.
The
in
rock,
this-
basically the stone for the view, you really don't see that skirt from the street. If you see the stone wall actually comes out. There's like a dotted line there, and it says stone wall and tree removed from drawing to view the porch beyond. So what you really see is you always see pretty much like starting at the sill line of the window down where it tapers, and then there's a tree that comes up in front of there, right where the panel says new. There's a tree. That tree's staying. So the idea is it says it's removed from the drawing. Exactly, it's removed from the drawing so you can see straight at it, and also for the, you know, for more of the structural, you know, for the engineered drawings. But you really don't see that. There's actually the grade actually comes down, and you really don't even see that skirt from the street. The only way you're going to see the skirt is from like you come either coming up from the yacht club, looking on the left, you'll see the left side, which is the long side from the street. But then there's again, there's like a natural rock wall. If you go to the next back to the yellow elevation, the rear, the left side, right there, stop. See that rock wall to the right there, at the corner between the Cape and the addition. That comes out, and there's actually a tree there. So you can see that line. If you take it from the grade back, you really don't see a lot of that. But I just took it away because I wanted to expose the whole thing for the view, you know,
Yeah.
how it looks.
Okay.
That's all.
And the weird weird hook tree that stays, or does that have to go out?
No, the tree's staying.
Okay.
The tree, that tree in the wall stays exactly where it is. Enough space where it doesn't affect that. So the tree's going to stay, as far as I know. So, tree's, I think, in pretty good shape still. So.
No, I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Wendy, your comments regarding this application?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely old home. I just don't think the porch blends with it at all. I think it
Oh.
doesn't match the style of the house. I don't care for the roof line. To me, it looks like a lean-to that you would see on a barn. So I just don't think it is in keeping with the style of the house at all.
Bear in mind, Wendy, that it is stepped back quite a bit.
Right,
This is on a
Right.
secondary elevation.
Yep.
The front elevation stands well proud of that.
Right, that house, the main house, actually, the porch goes back about 1.5 feet from between the back corner board to where the original addition, that addition is put on probably in the 80s or the 70s, I think, that where this is coming off of. But it is tucked in there. But the other thing too is that it's there's plenty of homes down all over Barnstable Village that are Cape style have to have like a shed attached to one side of it. It's the same kind of idea. You know what I mean? It's a very simplistic type of thing. And also the whole idea is to bring that roof line out. To go to a gable or anything else like that, you'd actually draw more attention because the ridge on that section isn't as tall. It's not, you know, it's a lot lower. So it's just basically kind of a, you know, very, just a simplistic design for that. But like you said, it is step back, George, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm very familiar with the house because I just live like 3 doors down, but
You do.
yeah, so I mean, I did drive up and down 6A and all around the neighborhood. I did not see a lot of screen porches like this. If they were there on the back of the house, I saw more that had like that hip style roof, which I thought would be much more attractive for, you know, an antique home like this. But I just don't think it fits. It looks off to me, so.
All right. Does that conclude your remarks, Wendy?
Yep, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, this is Pat. I also are very familiar with the neighborhood, and I do not have any issues with the application. The porch is set back a little bit, and with the tree there, I don't think it's going to be all that visible. So and the fact that the materials are matching the existing home, I think it's fine. So,
And Beth,
and
I just
that-
wanted to add, when you drive down Millway and you're, you know, coming upon the house over to the left, that whole side of the house is very visible. You can see the whole side. You know, so maybe if you're standing right in front, you know, maybe the tree would, but you can see that in the yard and everything, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
all right. Erica, are there any members of the public wishing to make comments regarding this application?
Chair, this is Erica Brennan. I don't see any members of the public wishing to speak to this item at this time.
Okay, so then we need to close the public hearing section
Sure.
of this application.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Erica,
George,
Yes.
Somebody's
Leslie
on-
Wallace,
Somebody's on the phone. No, okay.
Yes.
hi,
I,
Erica,
Hi, Chris, just 1 second. They're just finishing up another application and then we'll be doing your
Okay.
application, okay?
should I mute
Aye.
myself again?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
okay. So Ryan Caholen, this is
Aye.
closing the public hearing section.
Aye.
Wendy Shuck
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So now we need a motion to approve the application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Edward Berube, 94 Millway, Barnstable, map 300, parcel 039/001, built 1850, as submitted.
Ryan
All right.
Caholen, second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
I,
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So that application is approved. Our next application is for Christopher Loftus, 246 Pine Street, West Barnstable, map 153, parcel 016, built in 1950. To redo and change the window placement on the front facade, construct 3-season porch on the west elevation, and to construct a porch on the south elevation. So we need to open a public hearing for this application.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
The second,
Ryan
Leslie
Cahola,
Wallace,
second.
second.
There you go. Leslie, this one's you.
All right,
You are asleep at the switch.
all right. And a roll call vote on this public hearing application. So George,
I agree.
Leslie
Approve.
Wallace,
Go ahead.
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So is Mr. Loftus ready to discuss their project?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Well, you got a
Should
lot
I
of
just,
land in back.
I do, yeah. Should I just say what I'm doing there? It's pretty much as you've described. I'm trying to improve the aesthetics of the house. The front goes from 9 windows to 5, and basically, I'm just trying to make it look better and be more better in general.
Uh-huh.
I can answer any questions. I don't want to overspeak to it. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's just some unfortunate architecture I'm trying to make better, and I'm happy to deal with any issues you have on it or questions.
Okay.
Did you put on a new, I'm your neighbor. Did you put on a new roof?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. You had
It
blue
needs a new
tarp.
roof, or it needs a layover. It doesn't have a blue tarp. It has the remains of a blue tarp that has been there, and it's going to get improved this summer and so on.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to get a new
I
roof.
remember the tarp.
Yeah, Ryan, we're neighbors. Yeah.
Okay. Are these the changes that you wish to make?
Those are the changes. I'm happy to do anything else you believe is necessary. This is what comes to mind to me is what would be an improvement.
What are you proposing the front elevation to look like when you're finished? What do you have there? You have 3 windows in the center?
The front elevation, the shed dormer currently has 3 windows and 2 windows on the sides. It goes from, which is I think 8 windows on the shed dormer. It's going to have 4 windows, 2 in the center and 1 on each side, which to me is slightly more than I would like from a window ratio, but I can't reduce that center bedroom anymore. So,
No, I don't think that's bad.
yeah,
Now, you're going to have a porch across the front, all the way across.
it's going to have a farmer's porch on the front, across the front. There's currently a very large picture window with a transom kind of that's out of scale and so on. I'm going to remove the 3-sash transom window, put in a triple window, put in a triple Anderson type glass door. I'm going to put the porch, instead of having the porch in the front as it would typically be, I'm going to put the porch entrance on the gable side, which is a little more attractive. And also it reduces the obvious, overabundance of glass in the front.
So you're reducing that sliding glass door to a triple window. Is that correct?
No, there's no sliding glass door in the front. That's the fact. There's a triple window in the front with 3 window sash over it in the transom style. I'm going to replace that with a triple glass door because it needs it for the light.
Oh, okay. And the stairs
That's
to
how you get
approach,
to the porch.
and the stairs to approach the
That's how
porch
you
are
get
on
to
the
front
right-hand
porch,
side.
yeah. From the right-hand side and from the left-hand side is like a friendship type stairs because there's a side door on the opposite side, the east elevation that needs to be accessed. So there would be a stairs going from the right west side to the left east side off the porch, 2 stairs off the porch, 1 primary stairs off, obviously for common access.
Okay. And to the right, on this right elevation, what changes are you making in this elevation?
On the right west elevation, there's going to be a 3-season porch or 4-season porch closed in with windows, it's going to kind of mimic the angles of that salt box gable.
Yeah,
It'll be slightly smaller. It's gonna have. I'm just talking off the top of my head now because I came onto the meeting late and I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
it's okay.
But
Go ahead.
it's going to have that elevation is going to have that.
I see the
precinct
triple
report I
windows.
described.
Yeah, you have triple
With,
windows.
Triple windows, and there's going to be a double Anderson type glass door in line with the existing glass door to the existing addition.
Okay. Yeah, your windows are going to line up with the top of the doors.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Now, that's an unheated room
that's unheated. It's going to be insulated but unheated.
at this time. So you want to be able to make it a heated room, but you're not going to do it as part of this application.
I'm not going to do it right now, and I don't know if I'm going to do it all because I don't need the heat, but it would be substantially conditioned
Okay.
just with being fully insulated.
Okay. And now the rear elevation, any changes there?
Rear elevation, there's no changes.
Okay. All
No,
right.
there's none.
You can't see those from the road anyway.
No,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
You're doing the chimney over, or you're doing a new chimney? I saw the chimney in the photographs.
I'm
looked
not
like you
sure
were
at the moment.
It looked to me
reason
like you were
being,
doing work on the chimney. Okay.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, I think we have a much better idea of what you're proposing. And I see how you're changing out the windows. And I think that simplifies that dormer a great deal. And I like the way it looks much better simplified. And I think you have more than enough light in the second floor. And you have the slider onto the deck that's going to be in shadow. So it's not going to be all that prominent, which is fine. The windows on either side are the same windows, are they not? They're both B windows. So that's
Yeah, they're both B windows, yeah.
with a mold pair on either side, or is that
Yeah.
mold on one side and not mold on the other? You're going to have two mold pair, right? In other
When you
words,
say mold, do you mean
I mean joined together,
or?
joined together vertically.
Oh yeah, joined together. There would be trim in between. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mold window, right? Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, George. Leslie, what are your
Thank you.
comments regarding this
Okay.
application?
Can you bring it up to the front of the house so I can ask the question? The front, bring it up a little bit to the front of the house.
The existing house, Leslie?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
existing, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
Bring the grade up.
no, I'm gonna ask you a question. All right, so you
Okay,
have
okay.
the picture window, that big window. You're gonna put sliders in there. In front of that, you're gonna have a deck or a deck, I guess you called it. Now, is it gonna start from that end and go to the other end? See, I'm confused on the dimension.
It's going to set back approximately 6 inches from the corner boards, which
Oh, okay, okay,
it's going to have a 4-pitch roof, and it's going to be a typical farmer's porch. And some of the purpose of it is to create the illusion of a setback on the dormer, which doesn't exist because the current dormer is flush to the front wall. So this will give you an illusion of the dormer being more typically set back from the front face.
okay, so it's gonna have a roof. It's gonna have the porch gizmos in the front. Now it goes to, as I'm looking at this, the left-hand side, and that's how you get onto the porch. That's
You
the
get onto the
stairs
porch
to
from the
get
left-hand
on.
side and the right-hand side.
Oh, you're gonna be able to access it from both ends?
Yeah, the reason being there's a doorway on the left elevation, so it would be the easiest way to, like a friendship type stairs where you can access right or left.
Okay, all right. it's kind of confusing, but I'm getting it. All right. You don't have a, let's see. Yeah, go down.
Yeah,
Go,
footprint would be helpful, you know?
yeah,
Let's see, from the side, you see how much that porch is gonna project from the
Yeah.
existing front elevation?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's gonna overlap that front wall so that second floor looks like a dormer on that roof rather than a
Straight
continuation of
up
the
and
front wall.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so,
gotcha.
so the
I got-
windows that are on the windows that are kind of halfway in between will be removed so that this porch roof overlaps that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cleans it up a great deal.
And it looks like a dormer with that roof there. I
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be an improvement. Yeah, okay. I was just kind of confused. I've looked at that house for 30 years, so it was confusing.
Uh,
All right.
Do you
Thank
have
you.
horses? Chris,
Not yet, no.
are you gonna get
No, I
any?
don't. I am, but I have to fix up the barn first, but that's a
Yeah.
whole separate application.
Yeah, oh,
Or not
yeah,
fix it up,
oh, yeah,
rebuild it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The one on the side's in good shape, but the ones in the back. Well, that's good. We'll see you for that then.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Leslie. Ryan, how about your comments, Ryan?
I've walked past that house several thousand times, and
Wow, you guys.
I have always kind of stared at the front of it, wondering how to fix that. But I will say that the addition of that porch in the removal of some of the very oddly shaped, oddly placed windows, I think that changes the dynamic
Mhm.
significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm looking at that I'm just struggling a bit, and maybe it's the scale of the drawing. You have it marked as I on the porch, right? Those three, I'll call them slabs, right? The middle slab is, I'm going to assume the door, left and right are going to be glass panes. Is that to scale? Are they going to be, half size, like a typical, side window to a door? Or are they going to be full size?
They're going to be full size. They're going to be 3-foot sliders. And the reason being, obviously, there's going to be one stationary and a slider, or two stationaries and a patio type door. And the main reason for that is, and I don't like it in particular, I don't like it particularly because it's more like the back elevation of a house. The main reason for that is because it was the whole way it was built inside. It was built necessitating that degree of light from the front. So it's hard to walk away from that, especially when I'm removing those very large transoms. So, and that's another reason I wasn't in love with the front aspect because of that. So that's another reason that the railing on the porch continues right through, and the access is from left and right as opposed to a typical opening in line with the front door.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
think it'll you know what I mean? So it removes the aspect to the right salt box side, right west side, which is more attractive in some ways, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think the railing is going to be imperative. Otherwise, that
Yeah.
just looks like one great big window. So I think the railing, and the stanchion spacing is going to be important. I would say probably the tighter the better. The railing, what is that going to be made of? What is that going to be?
I mean, I can do whatever is most desirable for you, but it would either be if the idea was to reduce the visibility of the glass window, it would be slightly atypical railing, so it would be flat type railing of 2 inches by 2 by 1 inches with tighter spacing, or it would be a typical 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 square baluster.
The railing should be a hip, a crowned style to avoid pocketing. If you put a flat 2 by railing across the top, it's going to cup and it's going to hold water. So you want to put a bit of a peak to it, kind of like a a gable roof, but a
Oh,
very
sorry,
shallow
I was
peak
talking about the
to the railing.
balusters, not the railing.
Uh,
I
well,
was talking about the balusters. I got
I think that-
confused. Yeah.
simple 2x2 balusters at about 4 inches works very nicely.
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't go any bigger than 4 inches though, for the space.
Well, the code is 4 inches, so that's why I mentioned that dimension.
Okay, no, I mean, look, that's a tough structure to evolve, right?
Yeah.
But I think I like the direction this is going. I mean, the work on the side, you're so far back, I'd have to stick my neck in to really see it. So I'm not really concerned. I think that what's laid out is in keeping with the existing structure, so I don't really have any issue with that. Yeah, you got a tough project to blend, but I'm pretty impressed with what you've come up with here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Wendy, would you like to discuss this application?
Yeah, so I agree. I think overall it's a huge improvement. It really is. But two questions. So challenging a little bit on the doors in the front. I don't think sliders in the front are desirable typically. I understand the light issue, but could you accomplish nearly the same thing if you had like a door with half of it being, you know, glass on top and then side lights and then maybe a side light on top to make it a little more attractive than having a slider? Is that possible?
Do you mean 3 of the same? 3,
No, I'm thinking more of a, you know, a standard size door, maybe a little large
Yeah,
door that had
the
side
door
lights.
in the middle and the glass on the side.
And even on the top, maybe if you need it, right?
Yeah,
You can, because the style of this house, I think it could take that.
yeah, I'd like to. Yeah. The problem is a transom on the top. If there was room for it, it wouldn't achieve anything because of even with a 4-pitch roof, it diminishes the light. And the object is looking at it from the front to make it so that when you build a porch, you don't lose all the light and you can see it, you know, the soffit and fascia on the porch lines up with the top of the exterior trim on the door. It's hard to get a transom in there on that height because it's not much more than 8 foot now. And with a you know, with a 610 door and trim and blah blah blah, you wouldn't make it with a transom on top at all. And if you did, it wouldn't achieve the purpose, I think.
Right.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not being argumentative. I just thought
No,
that
no,
there's
no.
100 different
Yeah, I
ways of
understand.
doing it.
And I understand the transom on top, but you know, side lights on the side, and you could even have a door that had like, I've seen them like 4 or 6 panels of glass on the top half of the door and then side lights on the side where you could bring a
I
lot
would do that. I mean, I'd be happy to do that. I mean, I'm not in love with that California look and all those, you know, triple thing, you know.
Yeah.
I would do that, and I would draw something like that to achieve as much light as possible. The other thing that would necessitate, which I'm not against, is even though that's a relatively small footprint, there's one room in that footprint. There's an office type thing. So if I was going to lose those 3 glass doors, which wouldn't bother me, I would knock down those interior walls and achieve some light on that front elevation from the current 2 windows. Because those current 2 windows to the left of the house, as you look at them, don't provide any light now because that's an office or den type on the front left of the house. So I'd be open to doing that if it was, you know, I'm sure it's possible. I mean, I would draw it and just try to map it out and make sure it doesn't kill the light 100%, you know?
Yeah.
It's Chris. Is it Chris? Yes.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
I might suggest that on either side of a central door, you can use a door as a window, as a side light, because you can get doors wider than most side light panels, which are the widest that I've seen are 16 inches. So you can get a door that is 30 inches wide, and you can get a 3-foot door in the center, and the 30-foot look like a side light, but it can be a a door with more glass in it than the 9-light door. You can get a 12-light door.
Hmm.
Larger than
Yeah,
the
that's-
panel underneath, but it isn't treated code-wise as a window, as the sliders would be. And you can buy those for about a third of what the slider is going to cost you. And then that would include making the framing. So it's a much easier assemblage for you, and it balances better with the windows on either side, and it still gives you almost as much light as you would get with sliders, but without the complications and the much added expense of the sliders. A 9-foot or 3-panel slider is so much more expensive than constructing your own combination. So I would go with fixed lights on either side, fixed doors of about 30 inches and 12 lights instead of the 9-light back door that most people are familiar with. And a door in the center that might be 9 or 12. And I think you'd get almost as much light as you get out of those sliders.
Yeah.
Look
I think
into
Okay,
it.
so that would be a 3-foot door with a 9-light on each side. It'd be a total of 18 inches plus 6 foot. It'd be 7 foot 6 inches. A unit that size, or 3 units put together of that dimension.
Yeah, I'd use a 12-light door. It has an extra row of glass beyond the normal 9-light, so it's a 12-light. You can get them 12 or 15 lights, so you can get almost as much light as you would get through a sliding door, but because it's a shelf, it's a door off the shelf rather than
Less money.
a custom-made sliding door combination. And
But would there be lights on either side of the door, or would that be?
oh yeah,
Would it be
yeah,
a
that's what I'm
3-foot
saying.
unit?
These what I'm saying is you have 3 doors, but instead of using the slider door, you would have a regular door look with 12 or 15 panes of glass, like the 9-light that you're familiar with, the kitchen door, the 9-light.
Yeah, but 3 of
Or
them.
you can get them with more glass in them. Check the
Yeah.
catalog, and you'll see that you can get
I understand, but are you talking about 3 units?
3 separate units, and you put a mullion in between. Yeah,
Oh, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah,
and it's a
I
lot
was kind of thinking about that. I
stronger.
never got that far.
It's a lot stronger
that-
and a lot cheaper and a lot more in line with the design of your house.
Yeah, I think that sounds
Oh, I
good,
agree.
George.
Well, I agree now that you said it. I was kind of getting there, but I never got to that point. I was kind of traumatized with slider doors for a while.
Yeah,
But okay, I'd be happy to do that.
a 9-light
Great.
and a 3-panel slider is you're going into 4 figures easily, closer to 5 figures.
Yeah, I always
So,
get a deal though. We won't go into that.
well, no matter what kind of deal you get,
Right.
try to price those other doors out. I think you'll be much happier with it.
I know, I agree.
And in the
Yeah,
front
yeah.
of the
Well-
house, I think that it's a little bit more formal and has a little bit more character than a slider. I
Yeah,
think that sounds very good.
right. So George, we described that as a 12 or 15 light door. And then we don't call those side lights on the side?
Yeah.
Well, they are as side lights. They are treated the same as
Okay,
side lights.
Okay,
And they are treated by the code as the same as side lights because
Okay.
they are divided glass, where the slider is not. That's
Okay.
a high hazard opening.
right.
But
Okay,
it's a,
This is Bette McCarthy. Perhaps we could say that the 2 doors on the side are fixed
right.
with the center
Fixed
one
pastry doors,
opening.
yeah.
So 2
Yes.
fixed
Yeah.
doors and a center opening.
Right.
okay.
Okay.
And Beth,
All
I
right.
have one more question. So the diagram that we're looking at, the structure to the right, I'm not quite sure. Can we, so we have the structure on the right. Can we go up? Yeah, so that picture, Erica. Are we looking at that structure that has the red door and it's going to be changed to
No.
have 3 windows, or?
No, you're looking at the right-hand gable of the house, the west elevation. The front is the south elevation. The front right is the west elevation. It's currently got a salt box addition of 20 by 24, 20 long by 24 deep, with a cape salt box roof. So it would have an addition attached to the old addition,
Oh,
which would
okay.
be a three-season porch.
Okay, so that structure with
I
the
just
red
talked
door,
to, yeah.
yeah, the structure with the red door stays as is, and then this new structure is added on to that, correct?
Yeah, and I hope to put something good looking like a carriage door or something on the current garage, but I didn't put that in yet.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna be with us a long time, Chris.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
I don't know.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing something.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
And
this,
you don't, Chris, you don't have to make it a
if all
formal
the-
application. You can come in for a discussion.
if the
Okay.
other committee members are finished, this is Bette McCarthy. I'd like to make my comments. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Please.
I'd like to hear them.
Excuse me. I think this renovation is a big improvement. The house sits considerably back off the road, and it's with a rise up. The on the right side, it's almost not visible from the road, and I think the improvements are very quite quite well done, and I liked the suggestion that George had with the two fixed doors on the left and right and an opening in the center. So those are my comments regarding it. At this point, is there anybody in the public wishing to make comments regarding this? Erica?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone from the public wishing to speak to this item at this time.
All right, very good. Then we need to close the public hearing section of this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Leslie Wallace, second.
I give this one to you, Leslie. I did like the first
And now-
three.
Let's have a roll call vote on the public hearing section. And that would be George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy. Aye. So now we need a motion to approve this application with the recommendations that have been made regarding the door on the front.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Christopher Loftus, 246 Pine Street, West Barnstable, map 153, parcel 016, built in 1950, as submitted with one modification to swap out the sliders for two fixed doors, one on the left, one on the right, and a center opening door in the middle.
Thank you. And a second?
Leslie Wallace, second.
Very good. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy. Aye. So this application is approved with that modification. All right. That concludes the applications for this evening. We do not have any minor modifications or extensions. The next item would be to approve the minutes of January 24th meeting. Are there any comments regarding those minutes?
Not for me.
Reviewed them, I have no comment.
All right. If there aren't any comments, may we have a motion to accept those?
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to accept the minutes from the meeting held on January 24th, 2024, as submitted.
Second,
And
Leslie Wallace.
Thank you. Roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. The next minutes were submitted for the meeting of February 14th. Has everyone had an opportunity to review those?
I haven't, but
I did.
I just had a comment regarding in the attendance, it said that George was not, that he was absent.
Oh, okay, I can fix that. I can say that he was present.
And then because he voted in all the other
Yeah.
issues, so. And
yeah,
then,
I had trouble getting in line, so, yeah.
and then a motion to close the meeting. The date was for the former
Oh, okay.
meeting, so,
Okay, I can update that too.
yeah.
Yep, I'll make those corrections.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I noticed when I read those. So may we have a motion to approve the minutes
Yep.
of,
That's
yes,
just one question. So the adjustment we make is to correct that George was present. And did you say there was another? Was there anything else?
Yeah, in the
Yes.
motion to adjourn, the date was wrong.
Okay,
So
but
just
on the
to update that date.
attendance, it was just George changing that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the minutes from the February 14th, 2024 meeting with two adjustments. One is to indicate that George was present for the meeting, and the second is to change the date in the motion to adjourn the meeting. Otherwise, as submitted.
All right. And a second? A second?
Second, George Jessup.
Thank you, George. And a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So our next meetings would be March 27th and April 17th. All right.
17th or 10th? Is it 10th?
It'd be the 10th.
What is it?
It should be April 10th, not 17th.
Oh, it's the 10th? Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's right.
All right, very good. And then we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting Wednesday, March 13th, 2024.
Leslie Wallace, second.
All right, and a roll call vote. George Jessup,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. Thank you all very much.
Great.
And we will see you at our next meeting, if not
See you later.
before.